So the name of the new album is, get this right, Gentlemen, I neglected to inform you that you will not be
Getting paid, yeah.
Not be getting paid. So do we need to take up a collection for the cats so they can get home? Is this a...
For them, yeah, not for me. That's okay. No, it's just some older musician said that. I can't say who it was, but it did get said, and it does get said actually.
Has it been said to you?
Sure.
Have you been,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I want to open this up and see if anyone out here in the audience has any questions.
Except for my sister and my uncle.
Yeah, all right.
No questions.
Ringers and that. So there is, Lisa here has a microphone. If anyone has anything they would like to ask Charlie, this is your opportunity here.
Is that the Testify microphone? All right.
So I have a question. My question is, if you've had a long career, but if you had a dream gig, something that you still wanted to happen, playing with a certain person or type of ensemble, what would that be?
But that's an interesting question, and I mean, really, to be honest, I feel like I'm lucky, because I get to do that, and I've gotten to play with people that are, I guess, my elders that I've learned from, and I mean, everyone that I have played with and everyone that I will play with, I mean, I just can't, I don't feel like I have to, I'm pretty lucky in that respect, so,
They're already there.
yeah, I guess so, In terms of my, maybe my peers or, people that you have some kind of in common with,
Charlie, I'm just curious what your writing process is. Do you start with bass or chords or a melody?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I guess it just depends on where, I mean, the one thing I do know is the more I try to force something to happen, the less likely it's gonna actually happen, So, I mean, most of my stuff is very simple, and I get a simple idea and, let it become whatever it's gonna be and, milk it for all it's worth, and then leave it by the roadside and go on to the next one.
Any chance of another T-Baker?
Oh. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I think that was all about a time and a place, and it certainly was fun while it lasted. And I love those guys, but, I think that we're all done with that, But I did just play with Scott in New York, which was really fun. But he's got a gig somewhere else tonight, but don't go there. There's a man over there.
If you had the choice of playing a 4-string bass or a 6-string guitar for the rest of your life, which would you pick?
Probably the bass, just because there's too much guitar. Too much guitar. Too much guitar. Too much guitar. Way too much guitar. Way too many guys playing guitar. Way too many young guys playing guitar. Way too much acne and way too many guitars. And guitar is cool and it's fun, and I feel like, I'm glad that I played guitar when I was in my early 20s, because that's a more appropriate time to play that instrument, When you get mature and you have responsibilities, then bass is a better instrument. But guitar is cool. I mean, some guys are really impressed by it, But no. No, they're both great, but I wouldn't want to have to choose. I mean, I just kind of like this experiment that I'm on, and I'm really enjoying it, and I guess the whole idea is to kind of get away from, the paradigm of bass or the, archetype of bass or the archetype of guitar, and what does that do? Because those are pretty arbitrary constructs anyway. I mean, look at the drum kit. Just think of that in an abstract way for a second. That's like a bunch of drums on stands and all this stands and symbols on stands. I mean, that's a weird concept, but we don't think twice about it now, you know, because it's a normal thing to see all the time. So, you know, and in the same way, guitar is a really arbitrary concept. The tuning is totally arbitrary. And why do rock people play with a Spanish guitar tuning? Well, it's just how it happens. So, I don't know. Tangent. Yes.
How do you come up with your song titles?
I don't know. Is that a trick question?
You know, it's like I get a new CD up and drive down here, and I just happened to look at the song titles, and I thought, interesting.
I don't know. Something topical, you know. My favorite title is Astronaut Love Triangle, and if that's my favorite.
We all know how
idea.
that turned out.
I thought Greasy Granny was gonna be
Greasy Granny. It's nice. You guys know that lady. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You just come up with these tunes. I mean, they're instrumental tunes. You can name them whatever you want. You guys can even. They can have. You can name it yourself. Yeah. I mean, the only reason you really name them is just so that you can have a chance of getting the royalties that you never see anyway. You know, so that it has a name on it. You know.
I had a question. Have you been sampled?
Yeah, a lot, but.
Where does it show up?
I don't know. I heard some stuff in some hip hop tunes, but I just heard it like on the radio, and then I didn't know what it was, you know. So, I don't know.
Do you know of anyone else playing that 7 or 8 string guitar?
Yeah, I mean, well, the 7-string guitar could be anything, you know. But with this specific kind of idea, there are some people who are starting to do it, you know. Which is cool because, I mean, it's taken me like 20 years to get like this kind of technique for whatever it's worth together. And, you know, if you want to play it, I mean, it's a lot of work, you know. It's definitely a lot more work than, say, playing a guitar or a bass would be, just because you have to deal with all these combinations, you know. But if someone wanted to do it, they could just learn the technique pretty fast, I think, because I figured most of this stuff out. You know, you could just get the records, learn it, and then forget all the stuff I played, and then make your own style out of it, you know. So I would like that.
Guys, I think we have time for one more question, if we've got more down.
Who are your idols?
Oh, man, that's hard to say. I mean,
Who inspired you?
so many people, you know. I mean, everyone that I've ever played music with, you know, so many books I've read, so many movies, just people I've come into contact with on the street, or, you know, it's always something, you know. You're always kind of looking for that because that's what we feed on. So, you know, you're kind of like a vampire trying to go out there and get it from people, you know. So it's really. There's so many people, it's really hard to pick any particular person, you know.
There wasn't a song when you were a kid that you heard, you said, man, I gotta learn how to play the guitar.
Not really, because I mean, I grew up around guitar, you know. My mom repaired guitars, and there were always people playing guitar, and Berkeley was like, growing up in Berkeley when I grew up, we didn't realize it, but I mean, everybody played guitar, and everybody was really good, you know. I mean, the guitar teacher down the street around the corner from my house was Joe Satriani. And, you know, I mean, like I said about the jazz band, I mean, it was deep. You know, Berkeley High, you just walk around with your guitar, and it wasn't like the Beatles where they take a bus from one end of Liverpool to another because there's a guy who knows a B7 chord and they want to learn it. You know, it's just like guitar knowledge is always flying around. So I just think that you know, you just came into it kind of growing up here.
Well, Charlie, thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
a lot of fun.
Thank you.
So hang out. They'll be out in about 15 minutes now.